Good morning, everybody. Lee Brower here, and welcome to this week's edition of Meaningful Monday. I am glad and grateful to be here because today is Memorial Day. I am also embarrassed to say that if I would have been asked 2 or 3 days ago, what does Memorial Day mean to me? I would have said, well, I know it has something to do with honoring those that have been in the service of our country, the military. Uh, and I know that it's usually considered to be the beginning of summer. And I know that Labor Day is considered to be the end of summer. So it's a bookend. But really, the depth and the power and the meaningfulness of this day, I truly did not know. You know, traditions are a very important thing. It's what holds people together. Traditions within families hold families together. Traditions within countries hold countries together. And how well are we doing in honoring and protecting and preserving the tradition of Memorial Day? I had to go to Google. And I went into Google and I looked it up. I did not know this, but you probably knew this. And I think I may have heard it at one time. But we had more American citizens that were killed in the Civil War than all of our subsequent wars to this date. Almost 700,000 citizens were killed. That's one in every two. Excuse me, that's 2 in every 100 citizens of the United States died as a result of the Civil War, in battle of the Civil War. And where were they buried? They were buried right on the spot. And then after the Civil War, 3 years after the Civil War, campaigned by a lot of the widows and the families of those that lost their lives, we held the very first Memorial Day service. And then it's continued on to this day. But it wasn't really until 1971 that it was declared an official holiday and then established that it would be held on the last Monday of May. It used to be May 31st, and then I think they moved it to the last Monday of May so that we could celebrate a long weekend as a nation. And then, interestingly enough, because we have a tendency to forget, and traditions, we become immune to certain traditions if we don't continue to honor them. And this immunity is true within families. We have family traditions, and if we don't continue to honor those family traditions, we'll become immune to them. And traditions are one of the most powerful things that bind. So it wasn't, in December of 2000, the U.S. Congress passed and the president signed what is called the National Moment of Remembrance Act. And that was because we were forgetting the great sacrifices of their lives, of our military, and what they've done for us and what they continue to do for us this day. And all that act asked us to do to commemorate and remember those that have sacrificed their lives for us and those that are out putting their lives on the line for us each and every day is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on Memorial Day, we take 1 minute, just 1 minute of silence to contemplate the supreme sacrifice that these men and women have made on our behalf since the founding of this country and since the Civil War. Which brings us right to the very day. In conflicts around the world, we have young men and young women out there representing us every day, willing to give their life for this country. Now, we live in an area that's very close to Hill Air Force Base. We have the opportunity to see families whose husbands or wives, sons and daughters are serving in the military. And they know that they're committed to this supreme sacrifice. Regardless of your political standing on the war, you have to admire the courage and the love that these soldiers, these representatives of our country, have to go out there and put their life on the line because they believe they're defending our freedoms. Do we give them the appreciation that they need and deserve? My challenge for you this week is to find that moment. And if you miss this, if this doesn't get to you, because I am traveling myself, I'm going to be with my father at my father's grave tomorrow, and we're going to take a minute and we're going to think about those that have made the supreme sacrifice. Memorial Day isn't about those that have died. We don't want to dilute this holiday. We don't want to dilute the tradition. It is really about those that have died. They expanded it to include the missing in action from Vietnam. They have not expanded it beyond that. However, there is some talk that it should include those policemen and firefighters and those others who responded to 911 in defense of our country. But it really is designed to focus in on all of those that have truly given the supreme sacrifice. Can we give a minute of our time today on Memorial Day? Gather our family around. Let's be the leaders that we want to be. And maybe develop a family tradition. You can vary from it. It doesn't have to be at 3 o'clock. It can be at any time. But develop the family tradition and share some talkings, share some stories, share some thoughts about what it means to make the supreme sacrifice for this country that we love so much. I challenge you, find time this week to do that. If you can't do it today, find the time this week to do it. And ask yourself, how can we as a family set up a tradition? I look forward to talking to you next week. I'm going to touch on a subject that says there is nothing as unequal as the equal treatment of unequals. I think you'll enjoy that. We'll talk to you next week. Enjoy this week. Thank you for letting me be with you. Bye-bye.